So I got a whole bunch of different flash accessories. I'm gonna try them out with my cousin here as a model. Say hi.
Hey.
So we're gonna be using the Z2, and I have a whole bunch of magnetic attachments and some more rudimentary ones to see how they work. So let me start with the baseline and see what those photos look like. That's just straight flash. All right, so this is one of those pop-up flashes that I found in my storage locker. They're supposed to diffuse the light and soften the light, so let's see how this does. No. Yes. Okay, see cerca, a little closer. She's backlit, so the light coming in, it's making her pupils big so I can't see her eyes. So I'm gonna change this and make it bright so that she has a light in her eye. And now you can see the color of her eyes. Okay, sonría, sonrisa. Baje la cabeza y ahora estoy aquí así para... Okay, so those look really good, and that's with this accessory. So now let's change this. All right, so that's magnetic, and literally you just plop it there, and you're good to go. All right, Jesse Dome. Again, look it that way, look to the kitchen. It's a little better. This thing, I don't even know what this does, but let's see. It's the barn doors are supposed to direct the light, but I don't have a lot of faith in these. Let's see what happens. Over here, maybe with the plant. Switch over here. Change focus. Okay, there we go. Smile. I don't know that it did anything. One more time. All right, these barn doors, if you look closely, you can see where her face is a little bit brighter. Now, I should have turned on the light, the modeling light here instead of using the one here, so I could see what it was doing, and I forgot I didn't do that. But it is subtle that you can see where the light gets directed, so it does work. And the benefit is you can spin it around, so you could block from bottom. I think I had it like this, so it left more light anyway. Okay, now I have this honeycomb grid with this white reflector. That I think is gonna do the best. And not only like this directly, but up and down. It's gonna bounce from here and fill in the face, which I think is gonna be way better than any of the other accessories. But I don't know, let's try it. Focus up here. Let's go straight on. You can see the shadow on the wall, but look at the difference in the highlights on her face. When using only the bounce guard, the highlights are less noticeable than when you're shooting straight on. All right, it's very bright. You can see that if I put it like this at an angle, it bounces here and fills in the light, but it's still kind of harsh. It does a pretty good job. This is my favorite so far. Then we have this. That has a diffuser, but you can also put these color gel things on it. So let's try with the warm gel and see what kind of color we get. I love that they're magnetic. Okay, straight on. Low power flash. Okay, looking that way. Looking this way. Bambi. Without changing the colors, I mean, the colors are fine. I have a green one here, but I don't need to change the colors. I just want to see the quality of the light. I'm gonna try something different. This is just a piece of paper and a hair tie. The best one so far is this one. Viendo acá. So far, I love this one. It's a little bit unfair to say that the paper did all the work as a bounce card, because if you notice, I was shooting upwards and then bouncing the light towards her. So when you shoot upwards and bounce it off the ceiling, that's gonna send light all over your subject. When you use a paper or a bounce card or anything in the front, it's gonna also fill in that light towards your subject. So you'll get the catch light in the eyes and you'll get some light in the front, not just the bright light from the flash. So the bounce and reflect works awesome. Let me do with and without. That's with. And now without, you can see the photo side by side. But now look at the difference side by side, having the paper fill in the light and then only using the ceiling. You can see the difference, and that's exactly what this bounce guard can do. Now the piece of paper, I wouldn't bring that to a commercial shoot. I would only use that, you know, in home and practicing and playing. Something like this is cheap enough that you can bring to a commercial shoot and still look professional. A piece of paper with a hair tie, not so much. But it works. In a pinch, it could get you out of trouble. All right, now I'm gonna do one more, but I'm gonna bounce from the wall because it's the right height and it's a side light that usually looks very good, very pleasing. And it's at 32% on the flash. So I'm gonna bounce off this wall and come this way to see what it looks like. Now, I always recommend bouncing off a wall if you have a white surface. If you have a reflector, you could use that as a white wall, a white surface. If you have a colored wall, it's gonna cast that color towards your subject as well. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the computer, load the pictures, and then give you my opinion on which accessories you should buy, or if a rubber band and a piece of paper is all you need. Bouncing towards the wall is gonna give you sideways shadows. And now look at the difference from bouncing from the ceiling or from the side. You can see the shadow in the hair and the face. It just gives you a little bit more of a 3D look. Flashing someone straight on, it just eliminates all shadows. It just, boom, done. Bright paparazzi. It's a good look if that's what you like. Honestly, I don't like using these flashes on camera. These, to me, these are meant to be mounted separately using a trigger, a remote transmitter like this one that you could flash and place the light where you want it so you can get the shadows where you want them. Now this one, this is the Z2 by Neewer. This is a round head flash. In the past, I've always used an S-type bracket to mount the flash, like this one. And that goes right in there, you clamp it, and you're good to go. Now, this is a round head flash. It will not fit here. So they've created something new. A different type of S bracket, and this opens up for different size round heads. So you could even do like a bigger strobe, it will fit right there, or this flash will fit right there. And now we can shoot this with a Bowens mount and use any modifier that I like. If I want to use a grid with a diffuser, if I want to use a lantern softbox, or an umbrella, it's got a little hole here for the umbrella. You can get incredible results with these little tools. I mean, they did fantastic. I gotta tell you, they do modify the light incredibly. Now, of course, you would only use something like this if you're setting up in a studio or something like that. These work fantastic if you're outdoors. Throw one of these on there. It diffuses the light, it sends it everywhere. Now you get evenly lit subjects backlit with the sun. Something like that will light them up in the front. Now this thing, is it worth it? $15, whatever it costs now. I've had this for years. I think I paid like 10 bucks when I bought it. I'm not a big fan. See, it's definitely better than not having it. But when you're using a flash, look how far away the light source is to the diffusing panel. The more distance you can get, the more diffused that light's gonna be. So having something like this so close, it's not really doing much. It does some, but not a lot. So out of all these here, I think I do like this one, these two, this set here. That's the gel. That is literally just the strong magnets. That's the diffusing panel that works fantastic. And then that dome can also help you spread that light evenly across your subject. This is an adapter for a square head flash. Easy to use, it just goes in there, you put the round head flash, and now you can have the same attachment on a square flash. Just to be clear, I paid for these. This here is a Neewer kit, something for speedlights. And it comes with all this. I mean, I wanted to try it, so I paid for it myself. If you follow the channel, you know that I have a relationship with Neewer, but this one I paid for myself. So I can give you an honest review, and I do like it. I mean, it's not something I use constantly because I have other lights and other setups. Outdoors though, this is very helpful. I did shoot a wedding and I put this dome here and it was great. It fills in the light, it just changes night and day. And when you're on the go, something like that where you really don't have to think about it, awesome. Let's take a look at some of these photos and I'll show you a quick tip, something that I learned that might help you when it comes to your photography. All right, so one more thing I wanted to add here is when she was backlit in the room, I shot towards the window because that side didn't have a wall, or the wall was really far away. The one on this side was very close. So for me to shoot that way made sense. That's why the window was behind her, which also tricked the camera meter, which is why I had the flash on manual. The bright light behind her was trying to get the camera to brighten everything up, which was making anyway, it tricked the meter, so I shot manually to compensate, which is why, but that's why I was shooting that way. Now, if you look at, that's what I said before, look at the shadows. The shadow on the wall is very dominant, but if you look at her and her face, it's well lit, and that was straight on flash. You know how I know that? Look at the reflection in the eyes and her face. You can see in the lip and the cheeks, the light was straight on, not diffused, because you can see the shape on her eyeballs. Now, on this one, I was over to the side, but also look at the diffuser. I believe this is the one I had. And it just scattered the light a little bit more, but it's not that great. I mean, you can look at the, you know, it just looks weird, but also straight on. So that's where you can see where the light hit. That's something I wanted to share with you. Look at this, straight on. So there's highlights, and look at the eyeballs. The light is right on her face. This is when I was shooting with this, with the barn doors. And you can see how it illuminated the middle a little bit more than everything else. So it does work, it's just very subtle. Something like this, look at this photo here. This is when I was bouncing the light off the wall, and you can see that in her eye. You can see how bright the wall was from that side, and then the camera, the flash was on the camera, so the eyeball picks up this part, and then the rest bounces and comes back. That's why it looks like there's two different light sources. That's something that I've always liked to do when you study other people's photographs. Look at the lighting, look at where the glare and the shadows fall. Look at where that light was coming from. How many lights did they use? Your eyes are a giveaway. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 light sources in somebody's eyes sometime. It's crazy when you start to analyze and study the shadows, the light, and everything else. Same thing here. So see, this one I used the bounce guard, which is why she has light on her face, and also from the other side. So this on here, shooting against the wall, this is gonna bounce light towards the subject, and the wall is gonna fill in the other side. So you're always gonna get different combinations depending on the wall and how you're shooting. But always, see these here, this had the green filter, so it gives you a green cast, obviously. This one here, again, I was bouncing off the wall now from the left. We switched positions so I could bounce from the other side. And you can see that the light, look at her face, her eye, it looks like I had a big diffuser, and it was literally just using the wall. Like I said, the combination of shooting towards the wall with the bounce guard does a fantastic job, because you're doing both. You're not only shooting and bouncing it off the wall, but you're filling in light from the front. So when that goes like this is gonna bounce it that way, and the wall is gonna fill in from the other side. So you get front and side, like having two lights on one. So yes, that one I highly recommend, and so will I recommend that dome, because in my opinion, it's very useful, especially when you're shooting outdoors. Look at the lighting, look at the bounce, look at, that's a perfect stock photo. That one also smiling, happy. But you see what I mean? You get the sources of light in the eyeballs. So the one bright flash, and then the reflection from the window. And look at the shadows. It gives her a 3D look. She's got a little bit of shadow here in her face. She's got shadow from the nose and underneath. That's perfect. Super easy to get good portraits like that. Here a little bit more with the hair and the light casting that way. Looking towards the wall, you can see a little bit of shadow underneath her chin, which is perfect. It gives you dimension, it gives you everything. Ideally, I would have the light just slightly above, and it gives you depth. But having it on camera doesn't give you that option. But I'm very happy with the quality of images. I mean, some of these look great. Then we started shooting some stock photos, you know, on your phone, smiling, texting, whatever. Talking on the phone. Some of these photos could do great for stock. I don't know yet because I haven't uploaded them. But I just wanted to go through a quick setup of how you can shoot with a flash on your camera. And I think I said this before, this was not sponsored. I paid for these on my own. And I do have to say that I'm impressed with the quality of this kit. This thing here I've had for many years, this thing, and it does okay, but I wouldn't waste my money on something like this if you could get a dome or a bounce guard that's gonna do a lot more. than one of these big things. And they just look kind of weird too. If you're shooting with clients and you have something like that, they're just gonna look at you kind of weird. You can also stack them like that and now do both. You have the dome that's gonna spread light everywhere, and this is gonna throw it more towards the front where your subject is. Anyway, I think that's it with this setup. I hope you enjoyed the video and the pictures. Let me know what you think. I just wanted to put something quick out there about all the different accessories and whether you need them or not. Anyway, thanks so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.